Hello everyone, this is Jean Machado for my first real episode of my channel, and this is from the series I'm going to start about efficient programming, more specifically about translating mental models to code. So when we are talking about efficiency, we are talking about not wasting our time, not wasting our energy to do things. Efficiency is related with not the opposite of waste, right? And when we translate this to code, there is much of it related to saying things in the most concise way. There is efficiency to the level of the programming language, where when we have to type too much to do simple things, we are not being efficient. But today I want to talk about the efficiency at the level of the text editor, like how many operations, how much energy do we need to waste in order to achieve some desired change in our code. And it's interesting to know that our brain works in a specific way. Like we have a mental model of how to edit our software. Like when we have a software in a state and we want to change it to comply to another state, we have a mental model of how to do things. Uh, and these mental models, when we translate them to our text editor, we can be efficient on that or inefficient. Let me show an example of a not efficient way of translating a desired change to our code. Like, well, if I wanted to delete a sentence of a paragraph or something like that, one not efficient way of doing that is moving the cursor to the beginning of the sentence, hold the mouse click and grab until the first dot, and then click on backspace to delete it. So this is the way we usually do it. But on our heads, like when I stated the problem was clear, like I wanted to delete a sentence. I don't want to think about moving the cursor or holding the mouse. These things shouldn't be inside the equation to make the code the way I want. A much more natural way of thinking about this is like here on line 54. I think in order of doing a delete in something or over something, or else I want to change inside a function, or I want to substitute a function. And if we generalize this rule, what we have is something like that: a verb and a preposition and a subject. This is like a general rule for almost everything we do in text editing in general. And if you translate that for like the Vim ways here, I will show my examples of Vim, but I'm really talking about something generic which should uh, go between text editors. I'm talking about uh, a generalizable way of thinking about code and translate it inside your text editor. So don't be hold inside the Vim, or this is a Vim exclusive talk. No, I'm talking about a concept here, an idea. But Vim is the editor I have to show. So if we talk in the Vim's language, a verb would be translated to action. Preposition is the same, but and the subject is a text object. And for example, if I want to change inside a function in the Vim's way, I would say CEF, or to delete a sentence like the example previously would be DAS. So this is the bare essentials of the mental model I have in my head. There is a verb, delete, a preposition, a here in the case that it says that it's the whole object, and the object is a sentence. Let's deep dive inside this concept. So in Vim, the subjects are text objects, and Vim has its native ones like paragraphs, sentences, and tags, and many more. But we can also extend this, and this is the main reason of this video here: how to think beyond the default ones and extend this concept, which is a good concept of mapping your mental model to your actions on the text editor. So we can extend Vim's text objects for classes, for functions, for tags, for arguments, and many more things that really it's on our choice. And to do that, we have a lot of plugins here. But let me show you a little bit more of this functionality first. Like if I want to select a sentence inside the text editor, how would I do that? Well, first let me create a paragraph here for us to visualize. Well, if I want to select a sentence here, I can go and visualize a sentence. This is the way of saying to them, select this sentence, and it's really the same way our brain works, right? And I can do the same for a paragraph. For example, visualize a paragraph, and here I have. These are built-ins from Vim, but I can create mine. Let me show you how. First, I will create a function here. Let me give a syntax highlight here. I will create this as a Vim script. And here I have a function. And now I can think in terms of objects inside my head, like what if I want to change all the content of a function? Well, I can simply say change inside function, and Vim will let me do that, just that. Or if I want to thinking about HTML, for example, let me build one here really quick. And the Dickens code. Okay. So I have HTML here. How about changing? What if I want to change the quotation of Dickens for another thing, or a Lorem Ipsum? Well, I will map exactly what I just said for you in an action on my text editor. I will change inside I have many ways of doing that, but I can change inside the H1, or I can change a paragraph since it's a paragraph, but I will change inside the H1 tag, change inside tag. And I can add here whatever I want, like my Lorem Ipsum. So these are text objects, and a paragraph, a sentence, a tag, a class, a function, an indentation level. This is the same indentation level. If I'm here, this is an indentation level. And so I can extend beyond the Vim's vocabulary, which with these plugins. Vim text object user is an essential one. Like if you want to extend for, let's say, changing something between pipes, like that. I create a simple function to do just that, change inside pipe. And, change inside pipe. And it will let me do just that. So, and how I did that? Well, it's so simple here on the Vim editor. You can't, let me find my implementation here. here. For example, this is the way to do it. To select, I created a text object representing a line here. And these are the functions that implement it. It's simple Vim script. Between pipes is this bars, sorry, is this implementation. For pipes is just this guy here. So you can implement your own really easily with this concept. And there is some plugins that do use this and extend the functionality for you, just and it's already done, so you don't need to do yourself, like to have a text object as a function. Well, there is this plugin here to deal with the same indentation level, this plugin here as a text object, and to deal with arguments of a function. Let's say if you have 2 arguments and I want to delete one, so this is the way of doing the argument, and you can extend and give more ideas, and like your imagination is the limit. Beyond text objects, you can create your own actions, and this is the real fucking awesomeness of this as a whole. Like, if I have, for example, JSON here, and I want to beautify this, well, I can simply say that I want to JSON beautify a paragraph, and he will do it for me. Since it was a paragraph, it did. Or so I want to transform this paragraph into a PHP version of object. So here I have, like, these actions are all custom ones that I created, but there is some built things, and it's really easy to extend. Or otherwise, I want to make a list of these lines here, a numbered list, make numbered list, and there we have. Or I can easily integrate other libraries like EasyGraph from Perl to build beautiful graphs like the ones you saw on my presentation. Ask graphs, really simple like that, just this kind of test, and then make graph, and there I have it. So it's really easy. You can do many things. Like, let me just another example here. This translation function is really easy as well. It's simply a translator shell script that I integrated on my editor. So if I do a lorem here and I want to translate this to German, I just do English German, and there I have it. So the limits are your imagination again, and this is really intuitive, the way the brain works. And how one does that? Well, it's a simple matter of using these 3 functions I have here that I'm gonna leave on the post as well if you want to take a look. This is from TeamPulp. It's a really simple script that enables you to deal as text objects, as actions over text objects for everything. And the implementation of a function like translate is another no-brainer. Like, here is my translate implementation. I just have to say which prefix I want to call, and then I have the text selected here, and I just have to send it for something to process whatever I want to do. So I have this binary called translate, and I send the text, and he gives me back a string which this function replaces inside the text. So it's really simple, and I really can't stress enough the support of the mental models of the programmer, how this can benefit and make you a more efficient programming. It's much related with being cognitive sympathetic. Like, it's a concept that I read in this Algorithms to Live By book, which is great. Like, we should, as programmers, have the power to decrease every form of inefficiency. Since we hold the source, we can do anything. We are gods in this realm. So why not do the things that easy our mental models the most? And this really is a higher level of programming than what we usually see out there. People say sometimes that like Vim is a really low level, but I totally disagree in this sense that I presented here. Like it's hard to see good competitors, and it's really like the difference between imperative and declarative programming. Uh, Here we say what we want to happen, not how we want things to happen, and this is superior by itself. And the nice thing is that for every new text object or action that you add, they work for every other combination. Like if I add a new action, all text objects will benefit from it. If I add a new text object, all actions will work over it. So really, this is free functionality. Mathematicians love this, and I do as well. So please consider this. I will leave the references and all this material on the post, and if you do like, if it's valuable for you in some way, please hit the like button, and bye.